One important concept for you to understand in talking about harmony in music theory is the concept of the interval. An interval is the distance between two notes. So the interval between C and G is bigger and wider than the interval between C and E. These two notes are closer together and these two notes are farther apart. That might sound pretty simple, but it gets a little more complicated once we put the names to the intervals. So, starting on C, we can go up one half step or semitone to C sharp, and that interval is called a minor second. From C to D is a major second. From C to E flat is a minor third. From C to E is a major third. From C to F is what we call a perfect fourth. Notice that that interval has a very open sound compared to the more harmonic sound of the minor and major third. Minor third, major third, perfect fourth. If I go a half step higher, I come to the augmented fourth. This is also called a tritone. The most interesting thing about the tritone is that for 100 years or so in Europe, this was an illegal interval. Composers were not supposed to compose with it because, for whatever reason, they thought it was the devil's interval. Whatever. Moving up one more step, we have a perfect fifth, and this interval also has a very open sound to it. Perfect fifth. Moving on from there, we have a minor sixth interval, a major sixth interval, a minor seventh interval, and a major seventh interval. Now you may recognize these from the video on seventh chords, and that's where the seventh chords get their name, from this interval. Minor seventh, major seventh. And last but not least, we have the octave. It's the same note, it's just an octave higher or lower. Now those interval names can be confusing. And so we're going to be studying different ways of thinking about them. But basically, you just have to memorize both the way they look and the way they sound. Another way of thinking about intervals is in categories. For instance, there are consonant intervals, intervals that sound kind of nice together, like the minor third and the major third, and the minor sixth, and the major sixth. There are dissonant intervals that they still sound good to me, but they're a little crunchier. The major second and the minor second, the major seventh and the minor seventh. And then the open intervals, the perfect fourth and perfect fifth, and the perfect octave. The tritone is in a category all by itself. And last but not least, we need to think about the interval of one note with itself. If you play two notes in a row that are the same, that interval is called a unison, a perfect unison. Unison means one sound. And that's what it is.